Tommy, you ever wake up suddenly scared out of your ever-loving mind?
Actually, every night. I'm not lying. Yeah. I should probably have a CPAP machine. I mean, I know I should have a CPAP machine.
Man, this took a turn.
You didn't expect that, huh?
Oh, God, real life set in.
No, just about every night I feel like I'm choking, and then I wake up and I feel like something's in my mouth and I'm choking. And usually I go back to sleep thinking, oh, well, whatever it was, I just like swallowed it or whatever. And then the next morning I'm like, it's crazy. I always have the same, like I never realized in the moment, like, oh yeah, it was just my heart stopping or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. You never realized the beloved's trying to smother you with a pillow at the time.
Why do you ask, Randall?
Well, what I'm about to tell you, Tommy, will startle you for the rest of your days. Are you ready for this?
Oh, man, I don't know if I can handle any more startling.
I mean, you will carry with you such a fright. It will make you shiver in your lowest moments, Tommy. You ever have a low moment?
Oh, me never. All right, John Carpenter, spit it out.
Listen, you gotta prep the people. You gotta make them, ease them into
foreshadowing.
It. Yeah, that's right. I don't want to scare the dickens out of the listeners, you see.
You gotta prepare them, huh?
Yeah, pardon my harsh language. I know we have women and children listening, but I don't know how else to put it. Your dickens might be scared right out of you.
So people are just shutting off the podcast now. Good job, Randy.
Oh, well, we got their download.
Like,
that's all I want.
I don't want to be scared.
Oh, sure they do. Pretend this is a true crime podcast, okay?
Ooh, yeah. Maybe it will be one day.
Maybe that's the format change we desperately need.
No, maybe I just figured I'd murder you and then I'd just keep doing it over and over again and it'd be a true crime so they find out what happened.
You'll keep murdering me over and over again?
Well, no, I just keep doing the podcast over and over again. Be like, Randy didn't show up again today.
Oh, okay, I see.
Podshack sure smells. Wink, wink.
As if you could even carry a podcast on your lonesome without being scared. What do I do?
Yeah, I don't even know what a podcast is.
I know.
I just talk to you.
I've listened to 0 podcasts. I don't know. I was sleeping soundly last week, Tommy, sawing logs, counting those sheep.
Aren't you supposed to count sheep before you fall asleep, not when you're asleep, you weirdo?
You count sheep the way you need to. I dream of sleep. and sheep.
All right. You dream of sleep. Nice.
I'm getting that shut-eye, you see. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
The time was a few minutes after midnight. I know this because I was rudely awakened.
Oof.
This was a Sunday night, Tommy.
Okay.
I mean, and I can't even imagine keeping such hours that one would be up after midnight on a Sunday night. I mean, those are the awake hours of a hooligan or a poltergeist.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're a ruffian or a normal everyday street cad, then your bedtime knows no limits. But me, I'm a regular scholar and gentleman of the streets, you see. So
and in bed by 10.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a respectable sort. Well, I'm asleep after midnight when suddenly I hear the strange tones of a grandfather clock.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Do you not have a grandfather clock?
I do not have a grandfather clock. Good point, Tommy.
That is amazing.
So I think to myself, shit, fuck, what? Huh? Because I'm a mind poet when I'm awakened out of my dead sleep.
Sure, you use all the right words like a gentleman and not a street tough would use.
Yeah, well, when I'm jolted out of my deep randy sleep, I'm more of a street ruffian than a scholar. So
come out swinging.
I do. You just
grab your switchblade and your brass knuckles.
I'm swinging for my life. I got my brass knuckles, my switchblade, and I start singing a show tune because I'm
your bike helmet on. I can see that.
Mm-hmm. And look, I have no idea where this sound's coming from because obviously I don't have a grandfather clock. What am I, an old man? Not that old.
I would love a grandfather clock.
Of course you would. And my phone is on vibrate. My TV is off. So what the deuce? This grand tone keeps repeating over and over again, and finally, I realize it's the doorbell.
Ooh.
And then I panic because who would be ringing my doorbell after midnight on a Sunday? The answer is a scoundrel or a scallywag, no doubt.
Yeah, why do you guys have a doorbell that's a grandfather clock?
I don't know. I've never heard a doorbell like this before. Like, who rings a doorbell these days?
Right. Okay, and this is after midnight on a Sunday.
Yeah, and I had just gotten done watching some dumb horror movie, so I'm thinking, well, maybe this unknown person is up for a spot of murder because
they tracked me to my horror movie.
Yes, nobody rings a doorbell these days. They call ahead or text ahead. I'm on my way over. I'm here,
Well, a friend, but a stranger.
Yeah, exactly. And who opens their doors to strangers these days?
Well, get to it. Did you do it?
Well, I have that movie fresh in my mind, you see, so I'm thinking some hellion is out there thinking he could do for a dash of murder on this Sunday night.
You just crawl underneath your covers, cower away.
I mean, do you think I'm such a cowardly lion as that?
It's what you're setting it up to be.
Oh, geez, you don't know where the plot goes. I mean, my factory default setting is always to think somebody is up to no good. So if I see someone walking down the road or riding a bike, I think those people have hobbies that include committing misdemeanors, attempting felonies, and drinking Red Bull.
Okay, that's yeah. I would subscribe to that list.
Yeah. You think everyone's up to no good, right? You're a suspicious sort.
I can be, yeah.
Yeah, you can be. So the doorbell keeps ringing. And obviously I'm not just going to toss open that door because there might be an entire gang of street toughs there.
Don't want the neighborhood kids to intimidate you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and plus, I don't need to breathe the same air as some street tough. These is hard times. Keep your damnable air to yourself, sir or madame. At this point, Tommy, giving someone a wet willy is pretty much a knockout punch. We all have to mind our P's and Q's when it comes to the matter of saliva and air these days.
Very true. Something I always have done, but welcome aboard, everybody.
Welcome aboard the crazy Tommy train.
That's right. Wash your hands.
Well, I hate to break it to you, dear listener. It's at this point where I discover that I am indeed a cowardly lion. Tommy called me it, and I'm a little bit yellow, I think, because I'm going to have to literally yell, get off my lawn to somebody, like the oldest man that ever lived, like somebody that may own a grandfather clock, but I'm also terrified to look out the window. Because
Did you go out in your one-piece pajama outfit?
Oh, I was commando, baby.
Ugh.
I mean, I just imagine opening up the curtains, seeing some wide-eyed, unkempt hillbilly, looking like Tommy probably, with a cleft palate, some vendetta, staring right back at me.
Yeah.
I know. It's situations like this that make you realize what a goddamn chicken shit you really are in this life.
Sure.
Are you yawning at me like some big mammal over there? How dare you?
I'm waiting for the scary part.
Well, I finally muster up some courage. You ever muster, Tommy?
Yeah.
You muster a few times, did you?
Yeah, honey muster.
Yeah. I steal my reserve like I'm full of malt beverages, and I eyeball peek out of that, a slit in the curtain. And do you know what I see out there?
Who? What?
I'll let you know on the next episode. Cliffhanger.
Yeah, right.
Just kidding.
To be continued.
Yeah. You know what I saw out there, Tommy?
I don't.
No one. There was no one there. Yet the doorbell kept a chiming.
Did it keep going?
It kept a going. Some ding-dong bitch ran up to the bell, pressed it so hard the button jammed, and scurried off into the night like some prank ninja. But now...
Really? Did you go out there and pull it back or something?
Yes. So now I'm looking outside all around for some fleeing perpetrator.
You got ding-dong ditched. That's awesome.
Isn't it great? I mean, one would think some unruly teen of some sort did this, but I just thought the teens of today would totally lack that sort of ambition. I mean,
it's kind of refreshing.
It is, because usually they have video games that they have to watch someone else play. I mean, for them to actually get up and do something,
Right. It's a good thing.
It's pretty amazing. But the next day I woke up and I was like, oh man, I was filled all day with fear and self-loathing. Like, I was wide awake after that, waiting for the doorbell to go off again. And it never came.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't ding-dong ditch somebody's house twice. Like,
I know.
You got to give it a few days.
Oh, I know, but I was all amped up anyways. But the next day
baseball bat.
Yeah. But the next day I was all sore from being butthurt because I wasn't the brave little toaster in this situation. So I was cranky and miserable, and then the clouds opened up and gave me the best laugh that it possibly could. I went to Wendy's on lunch, Tommy, because I make poor health decisions.
Right.
And I was in the drive-thru waiting patiently, just a sourpuss. Just
so mad.
Just so furious. And I watched the man in front of me, bald, horseshoe ring of hair, probably accountant type.
Yeah.
He reached for the cup that the girl working the takeout window handed him, and he had it in his hands, and his fingers were wrapped around it. And then somehow, some way,
he dropped it.
He totally dropped it. He shouted and he dropped it. And it was a cup of chili. And it splattered all over the side of the building, all over the side of his car. And I heard him shout, "You dropped my chili." And my sourpuss turned happy. I laughed so hard at the way he said, "You dropped my chili." And he was so offended, like, you dropped my chili. Always the other person's fault. Despite the fact that his weak little pansy grip is the reason it dropped.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
But it's the little things, And especially these days, you got to look to the little things in life to find humor in this crazy town life we currently live in.
You can't go to a comedy club, that's for sure.
Can't do that. So you got to download this podcast. Oh,
I lost so much money, but whatever. I'm okay. I'm in good spirits.
You are drinking spirits. Yes, you are.
No, I haven't drank today. I did. Well, I actually, that I buy a lot of those little airplane shots. You know what I mean? Like those little one-shot things.
Yeah.
And I dropped one earlier when I opened up the freezer, and it like busted in half, and it was like leaking all over the car or all over my hardwood floor. So I picked it up and drank like half of one. So that's all I made.
And then licked up the rest like some angry kitten.
No, I feel like I should give my kidneys a break. If we're going to be in this thing for 8 weeks, I got a lot of drinking to do. So
yeah, you
every
do.
other day, maybe.
Yeah, you do. So anyways, the moral of the story is whenever I felt frustrated the rest of the day, I imagined that accountant yelling, "You dropped my chili." And then I imagined him washing hardened Wendy's chili off the side of his dumb car when he got home, and it just cheered me up. I encourage you all to do the same. Whenever you feel stressed today, just say, "You dropped my chili." And it'll work, or your money back, which is $0 because this is free. It's free, Now,
plot twist is that he's going to be the guy that's ringing your doorbell.
He's going to bash me over the head with a sledgehammer and say, "You dropped my chili."
Yep. Dump chili all over you.
Yeah, exactly. Here's something else to give you joy. Rather than dropping that chili, let's get this miserable retail slave show started properly by Drop That Beat, D-Boy.
Put it in. We're drinking summer shandy on Thursday. We so motherfucking out here, though. We never been this out here. Woo! So strange when it's changing the sleep. What you know about Leonard Skinner? The whacker the intro, the hotter the verse every time, baby. Well, I've been working like a working man do. Got my act together, gonna walk all over you. Pressure pushing down on me, pushing down on you. Shit, let's raise the roof. Woo! About time, it's the era of the rebels. Cloud 9 in the air up in the vessels. Generation fearless, got a taste for weirdness. Flow on fire, that's the way my beard is. Hard times, jump starting the grind. It's all good, y'all. Things fall apart sometimes. Let it go, let me know when you're ready to. Don't push me, cuz to the edge I'm close. When the time comes, ride for something. Or live to be 90 and then just die for nothing. Speak their heart, your baby, speak their mind. And I'ma play their part, and I'ma freak that rhyme one time for you. Rhyme one time for you. I'm an island, man. There ain't nothing else by me, man. And I drink enough whiskey to float a battleship around this bitch any motherfucking how. Wow.
Welcome to the Miserable Retail Slave Show. I'm coming to you from the Pod Shack outside beautiful Flint, Michigan, USA. My name is Randy. His name is Tommy. And your name is awesome because you decided to take some time and listen to this here big dumb comedy show. Welcome to the era of social distancing where the phrase, I want to touch him with a 10-foot pole, is finally a reason to give thanks. What a weird, wacky world, Tommy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was on the road. I've been on the road for the past couple months quite a bit, and it's funny because I'm out on the road and I'm going, I wish I could get a fucking break of this shit. And now I'm like, wait, no, I didn't mean it. Come back, stand up, come back.
What a weird time to be on the road for you, too. It's like the worst possible time.
Oh, man. Yeah, it was weird. And I was in Minnesota at Goonies Comedy Club this past weekend. To give you guys the exact dates, it would have been the 13th and 14th of March. So it was after like the state of emergencies and stuff. But I had a job to do, and I went and did it. And we had good audiences. They weren't super large. But my normal, like I was in Rochester, Minnesota. So like normally I would have went downtown and I would have found something touristy to do. I probably would have found like the oldest cemetery in the town and probably researched a ghost story on it. And then I probably would have went to the gym or the fitness center. I didn't do shit. I laid in my hotel bedroom the whole day and watched These Woods Are Haunted on the Travel Channel.
Nice. Although I think you would have been safe in a cemetery, to be quite honest. Yeah, I think that's the one place you would be safe. I
just didn't want to go anywhere. Friday night, there was where the club was. The hotel was like on the same service drive, and there were just like a couple bars in between it.
Sure.
And so Friday night, I went to a bar thinking there wouldn't be a lot of people, and that place was packed, and it kind of freaked me out. So I drank my beer and I left. The comedy clubs, yeah, we had quite a few people, and there were about 50 people both nights, I guess. And they were really into it. So it was a lot of fun. The headliner was Mike Baldwin, and he made fun of people for coming out in this, and it was really funny. And I put it on my Facebook, and people should look him up, Mike Baldwin. He was very funny. So, yeah, it was good. But now I was supposed to this weekend I was supposed to be in Oxford and Dowagiac, both in Michigan. And then next week I was going to be in Mount Pleasant and Franklin, Indiana, or Nashville, Indiana, and Saugatuck, Michigan. Then I was supposed to go to Ohio for a while. So, yeah. Weird.
Yeah, it's a weird time, but people still need to laugh. So that's where we come in. We're here to,
sure.
I'm trying to do my part on Twitter, going to put more content out via podcast, this and the sister podcast, someone's favorite movie that I do mainly with Tomco, and just trying to
Tuesday, by the way.
What's that?
It's Tomco Tuesday, by the way.
It is Tomco Tuesday. Just trying to do my part in this weird, wacky world to entertain everybody, because everyone needs to get their mind off that shit every once in a while. It was weird because me and my girlfriend Pookie, we went out to we went out Saturday night. And
oh my God! You're not supposed to go out.
I know we weren't going to, but then it was late and there was no time to make anything to eat, so we just went to a bar that we thought there'd be nobody at that she picked, and there was like two other people there, which was great. And I ordered a beer, and it was a green beer because, normally you celebrate St. Patrick's Day this past weekend. Well,
right.
And then I got sad. I'm like, well, all that green beer is going to go to waste. It's all needlessly green, and it's all going to be going to waste.
Well, believe it or not, I was drinking yesterday, and
I am shocked.
And I was about 8:00 at night. I was online, and I noticed somebody said something about St. Patrick's Day tomorrow, and that's the first time I thought about it. Like I didn't even realize we were that close. So I had to stay up. I had to stay up after midnight and have a beer on St. Patrick's Day. So
yeah, sure. I mean,
because I knew I would be drinking today. So.
I have been banned from seeing my girlfriend because of contamination fears for her and her girls. So
that's smart, though.
I think so, and I kind of agree. Well, but now that I think about it, did Pookie just stealth break up with me? My God.
She's just ghosting you in the nicest way possible.
What a scam. She's like, I don't want you to get sick. Just stay back.
Oh, that's a good joke right there.
I know, isn't
Women
it?
are now using a virus to break up with people.
Yeah.
Sorry, we can't see each other for a while.
Yeah. We don't want to
Not me. It's not you. It's the virus.
Yeah. It's not me. It's the corona.
Actually, I wonder how many girls are actually using that excuse, or dudes.
Oh, I bet it's a real life excuse that people are using.
I wonder if the algorithms for Tinder are like going like, what the fuck's going on right now?
Right.
They're just like blinking into space.
Yeah. There's no matches anymore. What's happening? Nobody wants to meet anyone.
Are we done? Are we over?
Yeah.
Hello, world.
Is this how it ends?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. What a crazy.
Still a lot of people on Tinder. I bet you people are like, I don't care.
Oh, absolutely.
If they do Tinder, I'm probably not going to care.
No. However, all the women are gone, and they're like, come on, babe.
Yeah, it's like, I got a virus last month off Tinder, but it wasn't.
I'll wear my hazmat suit. It'll be cool.
Yeah. And I don't mean me. I've never been on any social dating website.
Yeah. By the way, Tommy's back in case you haven't noticed. We are doing a quarantine cast because, he makes me sick. So he's way over there. He's phoning it in tonight. I hope you all understand.
I'm phoning it, right?
Yeah, you are. I think you sound pretty decent tonight too, so that's fine.
Yeah, I'm in a good mood. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know how or why I'm in a good mood. I counted it up. I'm gonna just the rest of this month. I'm out $750. That's just for comedy.
Right.
I can't sub because I
cannot.
teach. That money's gone. I guess old President Trump's gonna bail us out with $1,000 a check, though, huh?
Oh, is this true? Am I getting $1,000?
That's what they're reporting. I don't know if it's been actually confirmed, but it's all over the news and stuff.
Hot damn! Give me that grand.
Yeah.
That's his. Here's $1,000. I want you to re-elect me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a bribery, is what it is. Oh God.
Right. And it's funny because a lot of people are like, suddenly all the Republicans believe in socialism.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, I mean, whatever. It's a time of crisis. Somebody's got to do something.
Somebody's got to do something,
Ever experienced The Walking Dead like this before?
Right. Well, you know what? I'm doing something. Finally, I'm the king of the world. Yes, I am a miserable retail slave, but guess what? You all look down upon me with scorn, but now look at me, still gainfully employed.
Yes, you are. You're holding strong, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'm signed up for unemployment already. I keep trying to get on the website, but it's down because but I just never. I think I certified, but then I never used it because between comedy and sub teaching, I was doing really well. So
yeah, you were, but now look, life has a way of kicking you square in the Tommy parts.
But I'm okay right now. That's the weirdest thing is like I'm not freaking out. I feel really good.
That's very unlike you.
It's weird. It's like I guess I'm learning like in a time of crisis. I guess it's when everything's going good is when I feel like shit. And then when everything goes bad, I'm just like, hey, I'm Mr. Positive again.
Just wait till one day this week when you take out your garbage. I'm going to do a drive-by spitting. You'll be taking your garbage out, and I'll be like, hey, motherfucker, you're about to get it. And then I'll just hock a loogie, and it'll hit you, and you'll go, no.
Yeah, for all the listeners that don't know, I'm very big germophobic, so that it's another thing weird that I'm not freaking out about this. But as I was explaining to Randy yesterday via Facebook Messenger, that my OCD germophobicness is usually irrational. So now that it's rational, it's just like, yeah, I got to wash my hands and use the sanitizer. So I mean, it's nothing I don't do all day, every day anyway.
Yeah, it's just the rest of the world is catching up to you finally.
It's just like it's giving my OCD a purpose, so maybe that's why I'm happy.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh my God, all my irrational fears are now rational. This feels calming.
You know, I don't know if I cough more or less than a normal person, but by God, I'm afraid to do it in real life now.
And my thing is, I touch my face every fucking 10 seconds.
I think
don't touch my face.
The thing I do is randomly bite my nails, and so I decided not to because I don't want a mouthful of diseases. So right. I actually have fingernails right now, and it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, my thing is I always pick my nose in the car, and I can't do that now. That's a bummer.
You're the man I see at every street light and stop sign.
I am. It's bad.
Well, I mean,
oh man, now I can't touch the steering wheel again until I pull out my sanitizer.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't have like a Ghostbusters backpack on. that way you could just pull out the hose and spray down.
Yeah, spray everybody else.
Yeah, well, that's too.
Now that it's not an irrational fear, it's not. My anxiety's been good throughout. I mean, I've had my moments, but not any moments that, it's just like normal days. I think overall I've been a lot better. Maybe because I've been sleeping in. I don't know. But I've been drinking a lot too, so it seems like the sleeping in wouldn't really work. But I'm just drinking a lot because I have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
I mean, why not, right?
It's been crazy. Well, so I'm still working both jobs. One to a lesser extent, so it's crazy. And like retail right now is the weirdest, strangest thing. It's the worst it's ever been. Like, forget any holiday you've ever known. This is like unknown territory.
Yeah.
I
went to the grocery store today in my town, which is about half the size of the retail paradise that gainfully employs you, but and they were out of a lot of shit.
Like toilet paper, when I asked you if they had toilet paper. So here's what happened to me today, dear listeners. I needed to find some toilet paper. I went to 10 stores in 2.5 hours and could not find any toilet paper.
Wow.
I checked everywhere. I went into this Rite Aid, and there was this girl there, some, oh my God, girl, and she had, she didn't have any toilet paper or anything other than 3 30-packs of Bud Light and 3 cases of White Claw.
That's about what I bought.
Yeah. Right? Even the White Claw?
Yeah, I haven't tried that yet. I should. I should be drinking White Claw right now because I can't go to the fucking gym.
Right. So some worker there was helping her because the oh my God girl was looking for hand sanitizer. And,
okay.
And the worker goes, oh, you sure you got a party going on tonight or something? And she goes, I'm on a party until the end of the world. And I'm like, why are you a reality TV star? Who says that in real life? Why did that just happen? Like,
did she take out her phone and start Instagramming?
she did. She's like, White Claw. Strike the pose.
Give it a thumbs up and peace signs.
So I texted my friend Tommy. I'm like, hey, did the retail paradise by you, does it have toilet paper? I think I saw some yesterday. So I drove all the way out there, and it's like nothing there except old people.
You should have explained, and then I would have called her. Would have had you call. I asked you, do you need any, and you never responded.
Well, what do you think? Genius. If I say,
well, why did you call genius?
why am I randomly taking a survey of places that have TP? No.
Oh, you could have called and said, "Hey, did you happen to get any toilet paper? Am I going to waste my time driving all the way out here?" And somebody did put on their Facebook that place did have it yesterday, so that's why I said I think so.
Oh, okay. Well,
so they must have had it at some point. And I was there yesterday too. I didn't notice it, but when I was there today, holy crap, they're out of like everything.
So, anyways, after all this afternoon wasted, I went to the VG's where your mother used to work. And,
me too.
And I found all the toilet paper, and I nearly broke down in tears. Like, I was so excited, so happy. I'm like, this is my Super Bowl moment right here. This is it.
Yeah. You went to the closest place to your house last.
Yeah. Isn't that great? Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that fucking ironic? Don't you think?
Oh, it's like rain on your wedding day.
Absolutely. Free ride when you already paid.
It's the good advice that you just didn't take.
Yeah, like ending this bit right now.
All right. But yeah, I bought a whole bag. I think it was a family pack of Buffalo wings, and I just finished them all right before you called. So
okay,
that's
pig.
fun.
That's great.
I don't know. There was like 20, I think. I was like, whatever. I'm eating them all. I'm like that chick with the White Claw. I'm just gonna eat to the end of the world.
Yeah.
I've been joking, and I probably said it on the podcast before. I don't think I've ever said it on stage, but I've been joking that I'm this fat, and I go to the gym every day. So imagine how fat I would be if I didn't go to the gym every day. Now we're not going to have to imagine in a couple weeks.
No, you're just going to be the bubble boy, but except not in a bubble, just around.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to start running and looking up some YouTube push-up, things to keep this chiseled chest in place.
Fuck yeah. So I've been using this time to like better myself. I've started working out again, and I'm like getting my poop in a group. It's amazing.
Yeah? Shitting on schedule, are you?
I am. Yeah, hell yeah. Especially now that I got a fresh supply of wipe. I mean, you deny a man his ability to poop on command. What kind of world is that?
Yeah, I think I've been toying with the idea of just going Facebook Live and trying out some new bits, because why not?
Oh, that'd be fun. Or just do a podcast with me. How about that?
Yeah, but I mean, like, where they can see my face.
Oh, nobody cares about that face. That's not a selling point.
Yeah, but I mean, I do expressions, not impressions.
Yeah, nobody wants to see a gremlin talk. People are going through enough, okay?
Yeah.
You don't need to scare them.
It's crazy because this past couple months, and I don't mean to sound, no, everybody here knows that, or they should know, if I ever sound cocky, it's just me being goofy. But these past couple months, I've been really hitting my stride on stage and
oh man,
like killing, like doing really well and like having a lot of fun and being goofy and actually feel like I haven't planned anything. And I usually, the first thing I said when I was in Minnesota, I got up on stage and I was like, I drove 11 hours and had to shit in 2 truck stops. Can we have a fucking good show tonight? And the place loved it, and I'm like, damn it. So I don't know. Maybe when I come back, I'll be like, oh, I got to start with my material again. This sucks.
I know. I feel you. I work with a couple of, old folks, and they seem to really be eating up this anarchy. They seem to love it. Like, sports is canceled, basically.
So, right.
And that's rough because I love baseball, and that was about to start.
Yeah, I think school's going to be canceled for the year, too.
Probably. So, the people, these old timers, they're really loving it. So the one, oh my God, I've talked about him before. He's the one that piss on it, He took me aside the other day and he was talking about sports and whatever, and he's like, "Oh, that football stuff, man, it's a bunch of rah bullshit, bunch of bash and crash nonsense." He's like, "I don't have any use for it. What am I supposed to do? Get state spirit from it? What does that do for me? What does it do for me? Nothing. Piss on it." I'm like, okay, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, somebody thinks they're important, huh?
Yeah. This other guy, he just hired in, and whenever something happens that he doesn't agree with, he says, smoking weed. They're smoking weed, man. Like, yes.
Right.
Like,
He
yes.
doesn't smoking weed, I take it.
He doesn't approve. So yesterday somebody called the store and asked for pretzels, and he was like, why would you do that? Smoking weed. They're out there smoking weed. They're smoking that weed. Like, dude.
Oh, he has to be entertaining as hell.
He is. He's such a weird man. Like, whenever you answer a question, it doesn't matter what question. It doesn't matter what it is. You answer the question. Like, for example, if he asks you, well, where are the lemons? And you're like, the lemons are right over there. He always says, all right, have a nice day.
Even though you're going to see him again in like 20 minutes.
I'm like, is your shift done? And no, I see him like 5 minutes later, and he's talking to me. I'm like, why would you do that? What? That's the weirdest thing. He gives a thumbs.
He's OCD. He's LCD.
He gives a thumbs up, and he goes, have a nice day. Okay,
he's
weirdo.
OCD.
You think?
I guarantee it. Yeah. Yeah, it's just his tick.
Huh.
I bet you he just has to say it or he doesn't feel comfortable.
Interesting. That's an interesting perspective.
I would think so. I mean, I know how we work.
He's also like walking sexual harassment in human form. He's really bad.
Oh. Does he tell you how he likes your eyes?
He'll let you know when he finds a fetching lass in his eyesight. He'll be like,
but he doesn't say it to them. He just tells you.
Occasionally he'll walk over and he'll talk to him, and then always have a nice day. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Thumbs up.
The other day, some woman was like, he was talking to some woman, and she was having none of it, and she walked away, and we went to the back room, and he goes, "Oh, that fucking bitch." I'm like, jeez. Okay. Oh yeah. She thinks her shit don't. She's probably a lesbian. I'm like, because she didn't appreciate you hitting on her. Yes, I'm sure she is. And then he proceeded to tell me this story about the first time he saw a tramp stamp.
Oh God!
I'm sorry to all my trampies out there. I don't know if there's a polite term for a tramp stamp. I'm sure there is. However,
back tattoo.
Oh, I suppose. I guess. Oh, bother. So he goes, it must have been the mid-90s. And I feel like a flashback coming on, the screen got all wavy. It was the mid-90s, and I was at the store, and this woman bent over, her ass was hanging out, and there it was. And my jaw dropped, and my eyes were wide. I've never seen anything like it in my life. And then so she caught me staring at her ass. She goes, "I don't appreciate you staring at my ass." And I said, "Well, why don't you cover it up?" And she said, "Oh, you naughty boy." And I said, "I sure am." I'm like, what a story, dude.
Did this guy just get out of prison? Is that why he just started working at your store?
I don't know what the deal is.
How old is he?
Oh, 50-something.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well,
back in that age when it was like okay to sexually harass women, or they thought it was okay. I mean,
yeah, I guess must have. When he was
in his 20s going to the bar, that's what you did. You just walked up and said, "Hey, baby."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how you picked up chicks.
I guess that's what they said.
Instead of bashing them over the head with a club like a caveman, you would bash them over the head with just verbal inappropriateness.
Aggressive compliment.
Yeah, you just bash them over the head just bash them over the head with aggressive compliments, and they'll succumb to your wily desires.
Right.
What a world.
What's this guy's name? Like Roy or something?
No, it's John.
Oh, well, yeah, John.
John,
Manager John.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to Manager John out there.
I wonder if he still listens. I got him on Facebook, so.
Yeah, he responded in the Facebook group a few minutes ago, so maybe he does.
Oh, good.
If not,
good. I didn't mean to say Manager John was like anything like this guy, other than they have the same name.
Long-time listener, Manager John. Shout out to him. In case you didn't know, Tommy's back.
Yeah, you just said that.
Yeah, well, I'm saying it again. So in honor of him coming back, I decided to start a new segment called, like, Tommy's a famous comedian. He just bragged about, I mean, he was just a cocky ass and bragged about how he's all over the country. So,
I mean, I'm not bragging. It's real. It's the truth.
You sound like a braggart.
Dude, I just realized, like, all my May stuff might be gone, too. In June, I was supposed to go to Arkansas with the Dave Landau.
The Dave Landau.
God, all I can hope for is that when this pendulum swings back the other way, that people just come out in droves and they need comedy.
Oh, I think whenever the all clear is given, everybody's going to live it up for a while. It's going to be great.
I think so, too. So that's what I'm hoping I have a lot of, because, man, I was on a fast train to stardom there.
Yeah, you were. Hell yeah.
No, in all honesty, I was doing really well. I had a lot of momentum, and then.
Hey, before I introduce the new segment, by the way, you do have one May date left. It's May 28th, live stream for The Cure 4, 7 p.m. It's a Thursday. Miserable Retail Slave is going to be there for live stream for The Cure 4. It's a live streaming. Jesus Christ. It's a live streaming event to raise money for cancer research. Bunch of indie podcasts banding together to raise this money, to entertain you. Show up, bring your pocketbooks. Yeah.
What time will we be on that?
7 p.m.
Okay, because you just reminded me, I am supposed to be at Crackers in the Indy that weekend, but I don't think the show is at 7. I think it's at 8. But I don't think the show's going to happen now anyway. So.
Oh, you're going to be there at Thursday, May 28th?
And Friday and Saturday.
God damn it. Well,
I totally forgot about that being. I wasn't even sure I guess I wasn't sure if that was the same date. But we'll see. We'll see.
I don't know. Maybe we can do something while you're in the green room or something. I don't know. We'll
yeah, I agree.
We'll
I agree.
Figure it out.
I would like to work something out.
Anyways, this is our third year doing it. It's a great cause. It's a great time. So I think we're going to take a quick short little break and play the promo for live stream for The Cure 4, and then we'll be back with Tommy's new segment where he gets the spotlight all to himself. It'll be great. You're listening to MRS, the Miserable Rejection Salivas?
Can you imagine a world immune to all forms of cancer?
Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for our 4th annual live stream for The Cure.
And this year, we need your help more than ever.
Please join us May 27th through May 31st for 48 hours of live content from guests and podcasts around the world.
We'll be aiming for our most ambitious goal to date as we try to raise $10,000 for the Cancer Research Institute.
Please visit www.livestreamforthecure.com for more information on this year's event and how you can be a part of it. Together, we can make a difference.
Hey, yo, Hype Man here. Let me tell you a thing or two about these two guys that do the Miserable Retail Slave podcast. Let me tell you about Randy. He's one of the most pristine pieces of gold, diamond in the rough. Let me tell you, it's all about Randy, but then you have the guy that's named Tommy, the fat piece of fucking shit. Fat Tommy. He's okay, but he's a part of this too. So just give these guys a listen, because everything's okay. So everything is fine. Coming from me, the Hype Man, for the Miserable Retail Slave podcast. Paul Harvey, good day.
Hey, it's Jay Chandrasekhar, and you're listening to Miserable Retail Slave. Who wants a mustache ride?
I can bounce to this shit. Spirit forged with the iron, wherewithal to the wolves and lyrics born in the silence. You been used to some bullshit, now you hearing some science. Scare my fears up in the face with the sheerest defiance. Keep it weird till I die, that's my shit. And if they're hating, I'ma hit them with the fiercest of kindness. I can peer in your eyes and see we clearly divided by the way that you're hiding. Come on, unleash the vibrance for the dearly departed. We ain't just merely surviving. And I ain't talking about some planes when I'm saying I'm fly, but this dream is so lucid and I'm making these movements I ain't never made. Maybe I just been afraid. Waiting on some miracles.
Welcome back to the Sausage. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're doing great. Awesome. If you like what you hear, tell a friend to listen. That's the best thing you could do, especially in these times. Maybe your friends need some enjoyment and entertainment. If you also like what you hear, go to that Facebook.com, search Miserable Retail Slave, join our Facebook group. And search the hashtag Miserable Retail Slave on Twitter or Instagram, and follow me on Twitter at mretailslave. Tommy, are you still doing Instagram? You tried for a day or two.
I mean, I might go back to it. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Social media has never been a friend. I mean,
it's never been a friend.
It helps when I allow it to help, but it's just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Even though I'm a comedian, I don't really want attention. So it's a weird thing.
You're an odd duck.
It's a weird thing. I feel like I'm on there seeking attention, and I'm definitely not.
Okay, you non-attention seeking whore. Here's a segment.
I can't remember that who put this on their Facebook, so I apologize. But a comedian did put it on his Facebook, and it said, it's Antonio Aguilar. Antonio Aguilar he's originally out of Texas. I think he's either living in New York City or LA now. But Antonio Aguilar put on his Facebook 2019. Okay, Boomer. 2020. What did he put? Boomer, are you okay? Or something like that. It was really funny. Yeah, I'll find it.
Okay. So now, since Tommy's a big deal and he doesn't like attention, here's a segment to put all the attention on Tommy. It's Tommy's time to do a monologue in a segment I like to call Tomfoolery. Tommy, the floor is yours. I will not interrupt. I will leave my comments till afterwards.
Wow.
Unless you want me to interrupt. Do you want me to interrupt?
It's okay. I mean, either way, it's up to you. I mean, maybe. We've never done this before, so.
Okay, I'll interrupt. This is the one thing that Tommy brought to the podcast this week. So his segment, Tomfoolery. Go ahead.
All right, so I'm going to tell you guys a story, and in this story, you have to remember that I'm a good person. Okay, because like 30 seconds into this story, you're going to be like, maybe he's not a good person, but I'm a good person.
I'm a good guy. In fact, when Tommy used to get drunk, all the time he used to go around and tell people what a great guy he was. I'm a good guy. My name is Tommy. I'm a good guy.
Yeah, maybe that should be, if I ever record a stand-up album, which I don't want to do, but I'm sure at some point I'm going to have to, but maybe that's, I've been toying with calling it I'm a good person, but maybe I'm a good guy will be better.
I appreciate how you're the laziest comedian ever. You want to be a comedian, but you don't want to do anything, so.
I don't want to do anything but stand-up, live stand-up. That's my thing. I'm very, very, I work hard at that. I work hard at live stand-up, but I don't like... I'm not the only comedian like this, by the way. I don't like online content. I have become accustomed to, trying out jokes or interacting with people on Facebook. But, I mean, there's something about live stand-up that I really, really, really like. So,
speaking of online content, even though you don't like it, this is episode 250 of the Miserable Retail Slave Show.
Oh, God, that's so many hours of my life wasted.
Oh, you loved every minute of it. Our 8-year anniversary is coming up. Oh, my God.
Jesus.
I know.
All right, maybe we shouldn't interrupt too much because the flow of the story is going to be growing.
All right.
I don't care. I don't care.
Now
I'm used to being interrupted.
Now you know how I feel every time I try to say something. Go ahead. All
right. So again, in this story, just listeners remember that I'm a good person. I'm a good guy because about 30 seconds into the story, you're going to be like, he's not a good person. So I'm doing a show in the Thumb of Michigan, and if you never been to the Thumb of Michigan, you should definitely go to the Thumb of Michigan. It's very rural. There are no shopping centers. There's like general stores, like really like honest to God general stores. There's hard workers, usually farmers. They work all week, and then Friday and Saturday they like to go get fucked up at like the one bar in their little, not even stoplight town. Like just like, I don't know, let the horse and carriage go by if they're coming the other way town. And I love it. I love it because they come to the shows. They can't believe that comedy is happening in their little bar. They're gonna hoot. They're gonna holler. They're gonna drink many a Busch Light, but they're gonna have a blast. And I love it. I love it. I love it. So. Probably about a month ago, I'm doing a show at the one bar in this small town up in the Thumb, and I did really well. I killed. I headlined, and everything went great. And I'm selling my merch after the show, and people are buying me drinks and T-shirts. They're buying, stickers. Everything is going well. And this lady walks up to me, and I see her walking towards me, and she doesn't look quite right. I'm like, oh boy. And then she opens up her mouth. I'm a good person.
Wait. How did she not look quite right?
She was just wearing like leopard skin, like leopard skin, yoga pants, and
Okay.
like a bright pink shirt, and almost like a members only jacket.
Nice.
Yeah, and so she's walking towards me, and I'm just like, I just got like a weird feeling, or like, oh. And then she goes to talk, and I realize she has no teeth, and she says, "I remember you when you were doing comedy in Detroit 12 years ago." I'm a good person, so immediately I was like, "Yeah," and she's like, "I remember. Do you remember me?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I remember you. I don't remember." So, but I'm a good person, right? Because I just figured I would just agree that she remembered, and she would buy a sticker and walk away, but she just kept talking. And by the way, she said 12 years ago. Guys, I've only been doing comedy for 10 years at the end of this month. So right away, I know there's no way that it's me that she is referring to, even though she's talking straight at me. So she starts reaching into her purse, and she's like, "How much for one of your stickers?" And I said, "Well, whatever. Yeah, 63 cents, man. That will work. That's good." And she says, I know you remember that fucking dickhead that I used to be married to." And I say, "Yep, because why not? Why start telling the truth now?"
Yeah.
And she says, "Well, I divorced his ass, and I moved up here, and hell, look, I'm even out of my wheelchair." And I'm like, "Whoa, yeah, you're walking around." She's like, "I'm walking around." Like, that wouldn't have been the first fucking thing we should have discussed.
Right.
So she says, "Yeah, I divorced his dickhead ass, and I moved up here, and I'm walking around having the time of my life." And I'm like, "You're walking around, And so she scampers back over to her friends or whatever, and I go back, and I sold a lot, and it was cool. And I was drinking a beer, and she come back like 5 minutes later. I'm like, "Ah, shit, here she comes." So she comes back, and she says, "You should give me one of your T-shirts." And I said, "Ma'am, I can't do that." And she said, "Now listen, I've been your fan since you've been performing. I used to come see you at Chaplin's Comedy Club in Detroit." Guys, Chaplin's closed 6 months before I ever even stepped on stage. So I was like, "I know, ma'am," because I'm a good person, right? I'm a good guy. I'm like, I know you. And she goes, "I know you remember that dickhead I was married to. I know you remember him." I was like, she says, "I can see it in your eyes that you can remember him." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I can remember him." She says again, she was wasted, right? She's like, I divorced his ass, and I moved up here. And I said, "Now you're walking around." She said, "I'm walking around." And she goes, "Give me that T-shirt." I said, "Listen, I can't give you a T-shirt. I'm going to Iowa next week. I don't know if I even have enough. I want to have as much as I can to sell out there. But since I'm a good person, you have my email address. You have my website on my sticker. So you bought my sticker for your gracious thing of 63 cents. Honestly, I don't care. I don't even care if people give me a penny, but because I'm a good guy. I said, go to my website. It's on my sticker. You'll find my email there. If you email me your address, I will send you a shirt. She said, you would do that? And I said, I'd do that for you. She said, you promise? I said, I'm a good person. And so she walked away, and I finished my night. And lo and behold, 2 days later, I got an email that Kathy needs a size extra large. So the moral of this story is don't fucking lie and you wouldn't be out $20.
Man.
Yeah. I just love it because I just don't know why the first thing we didn't talk about was how she's out of her wheelchair.
Yeah. You would think that the fact that she was upright would be a...
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. No, she just believed that I recognized her right off the bat.
And that was Tomfoolery, folks. I hope you enjoyed that quite a bit.
Did you like it?
I did. I enjoyed that tale quite a bit.
I think I'm going to start telling it on stage. So
I think you
thanks
should.
for letting me.
I think
so too.
Yeah. You might need to add a little zip and pizzazz, but other than that, yeah, it's a good story.
Yeah, I just wanted to get it out and see. I recorded it a couple times into my voice recorder on my phone and listened back, and I'm sure it will evolve. And
oh man, the unreleased archives of Tommy content out there! Holy shit! Fans are salivating.
Right? Oh yeah, I bet. Don't salivate too much. God, not in this day and age.
No, you can't do it. I mean, stop making people salivate, Tommy, for Christ's sake. Okay, I had a lot to talk about today. We didn't get hardly to any of it.
A little farther if you want.
Okay. People are probably going to be excited that you're back. I know my girlfriend is because, I recorded some solo shows and she's like, I don't like it. I'm like, why? It's just not my thing. I'm like, well, thanks for the support. She's like, I like the ones you do with Tommy. I'm like, oh, great. A big Tommy fan. That's just what I need in my life.
Well, who is this now? Say this again.
Who is it? It's Pookie, my girlfriend.
What'd she say?
She thinks she likes the ones that we do together. She doesn't like it when I do it by myself. God damn it.
Yeah, I mean, I would have an opinion on that too, but I haven't listened to the ones that you do by yourself.
Because you're an awful friend, so it's cool. That's fine. You've only poured 8 years of your life into this. Why would you give a shit now?
Right.
Right.
It wouldn't make sense if I cared.
Yeah.
It would lose its charm.
Oh, yes. You are very charming. You're a good guy.
I'm a good guy.
Yeah. Every time you make me mad, I'm like, he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get upset because he doesn't care. You drop my chili. I'm not going to get upset.
There you go.
Misconnections, Tommy.
Okay.
PYT, Lakeville.
Okay.
You know what a PYT is, Tommy?
Pretty young thing.
There you go.
Oh, wow. Look at that. I wasn't sure on that either. I don't know where I pulled that from.
Yeah. Misconnections are very important these days because that's all we have now is misconnections. Like, you ain't ever going to connect with anyone ever again. So just dream about what could have been, folks.
Social distancing. Yeah.
Social distancing, which is my favorite new term. I love it. I always love all these new terms, and this one really just tickles my fancy, something fierce. Social distancing.
Yeah, it's just a nice way to stay the fuck away from me.
Yeah, exactly. PYT, Lakeville, Michigan. This was posted today, which is St. Patty's Day, by the way. Looking for a PYT this St. Patty's Day.
Just come right out and say it, huh?
Yeah, okay.
I wonder if this is John that works with you.
It might be. Have a nice day.
You PYT.
You PYT. Smoking weed. I usually go out to the strip club today to enjoy a good meal and the entertainment, but that's not an option now. Who goes to the strip club to eat the food?
The same guy that needs a PYT, I guess.
Yeah. Off of misconnections, no less.
Get
Get all your PYTs on misconnections.
Yeah. Like Leroy.
Yeah.
Listen to Leroy.
Yeah. Men, do you ever wake up in the morning and think, I sure could use a PYT? Go to Craigslist. Craigslist has all your PYT needs.
Make sure you tell them you eat your favorite food at your favorite strip club.
Are you looking for a POT? We don't have any pretty old things. No pots here. Only PYTs here on Craigslist.com. Anyways, if you're interested and available, please send pics and details. I love how he's like being very picky about this. You got to send pics. I will decide whether or not you're a PYT or not. Thank you very much. On the Leroy scale of PYT, you do not fit the bill, ma'am.
You PMT, pretty mature thing.
And how old is Leroy? Like,
yeah, that's I was just thinking. This could be even creepier.
Oh wait, here it is. Oh God, it does get. If you're interested and available, please send pics and details. I will comp you for your time and effort. You're gonna.
Oh Jesus,
that's called prostitution, sir. I'm white, clean, 34, average, normal guy. Yeah, you seem really normal. Please be serious in your response, and females only, please. So, if you're a 34-year-old normal guy, what's a PYT to you? 23?
Yeah, that's pretty weird, right? 34. He should be looking at the PMTs, right?
I mean, if you're 34, I feel like your age should be like 27 to 40. Should be your range.
Yeah, I think that would be a respectable age.
Yeah, anything under 27, and honestly, 27 is pushing it. Because
getting a little older. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever though. I mean, if it's legal, I guess, but not. Yeah, I think it would be creepy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Whatever.
I agree with you. I think 27 to 40 would probably be the acceptable range.
I think that's the sweet spot you're looking for. Yeah. And, I mean, honestly, whoever responds, just go with it, guy. Because nobody's one.
Right. If you get one response, you're fucking lucky.
You're winning. You are winning the world. This is like the best thing that's ever happened to you.
You should write back to him right now and be like, hey, just curious. What are your responses?
Yeah. Let me see the pics and judge the quality of the PYTs here.
Would we get in trouble if we found just like a random person online and sent them a picture of that?
Probably.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I feel like 20 years ago we wouldn't have, but
God,
somebody would sue us.
Society was a lot kinder to merry pranksters 20 years ago.
Society was a lot kinder 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, it's probably not a good thing to do. Some lady like 6 towns over sees her picture being used.
Right.
Fucking catfishing this guy.
Misconnection, Tommy. PY, we met on an island. PY, I think, are this fella's initials. We met on an island from Mount Morris, Michigan, USA. And he writes us like a poem. So that's something.
Those Panthers.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably, he's one of those people that doesn't have to worry about losing work, a poet, because he never had any work to begin with. We met on an island. I told you I dreamed of you. I did. We wrote and called each other for years.
I like that when he's like, I'm not a liar.
Yeah. I still have a picture of the girl in the polka dot dress standing in her friend's home by the fireplace.
But if she's like, not you, your friend that was in the polka dot.
What's her name? I still remember the long drive home with the strawberry flavor from your lipstick. Did we really only kiss once? Oh, that's pathetic.
He's like, I'm never washing these lips again.
I bought that shade of lipstick and I try it on every day just so I can taste it over and over again.
long drive home, but you had that. God, I hope it wasn't hours. Like not eating or drinking anything.
Yeah.
A little obsessive here, guy.
I thought you were the one for so long. How could you be the one when you only kiss once? Then I lost my way and it didn't even work out. Then I got lost deeper in the wilderness and didn't even think to try and fix it with you. I have been wandering for years in a day.
I wonder what the wilderness is.
I don't know.
I want to know his metaphor for the wilderness. Is he the same guy that's looking for a PYT?
I've been lost in the strip clubs for years.
Just eating buffets.
I have been wandering for years and days, married, separated, not really realizing what I had really done, and suddenly karma bit me in the ass.
Ugh.
Multiple S's. I am no longer wandering through life in a daze. It's like I learned to just walk away, put everything behind me. I could have tried, and I didn't even realize it. Anyway, I think you believed in us as much as I did, and even longer than I did. I'm sorry. I stopped believing in us. It was a shitty thing to do to you. It's like he passed out on the keyboard or something. I don't know. Overcome from the strawberry flavored lipstick memories. Memories of strawberry lipstick. It was a shitty thing to do to you, just deciding to move in with a woman other than you without thinking it through, even when you warned me. Like, why is this dude hung up on this girl he kissed one time? That's my problem.
Because all the other girls he's reached out to, and they all said nope.
No, thank you.
This is just another. Oh, what about that girl I kissed on the island that one time?
Yeah, I hope you see this. I know you're married. I won't.
Oh, God.
And I won't contact you directly and screw anything up for you. Well, okay, guy.
You're just gonna hope that she randomly sees this and decides to screw everything up.
No, Tommy. What he wants, he just wants to put an apology out there, hoping you see.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, and if you don't see this, maybe some guy just being stupid and not thinking will, and instead of just moving on, he will give it a little effort and learn why it really matters to work things out.
Oh, you should respond and tell him that you've seen that he's really helped your life.
Yeah. Dear TJ from GR, you really helped my life. I saw your stupid poem and realized not to be shitty.
Oh, that'd be great. And then that guy would walk around with his head held high.
Yeah. One more. 2 women in the tasting room. Misconnection, Tommy. Sunday afternoon in Sutton's Bay. You ever been there?
No. Abe Falcon has some family members from there, though.
Oh, okay.
So I know some people from there. Yeah.
Gotcha. You were a group of 2 women. A group of 2 women. I that's hardly a group, I would say.
Yeah, I don't think the 2 women count as a group. You were a group of 2 women.
You were a group of 2 women. Okay.
I think it'd be a couple. There was a couple women.
You were a gaggle of hens. Anyways, you were a group of 2 women visiting the tasting room for views and some adult beverages on Sunday, March 15th in the late afternoon.
Oh, wow. He got right to it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. You noticed what I was driving, and we struck up a brief conversation about cool places, activities, and accents. Wow.
Yeah. What a thing to have a conversation about with a group of women.
Yeah. Cool places, activities, and accents, by the way. You know?
Yeah. PAA.
I was thinking about accents. I've been thinking, like, it's weird to me that everybody in the country talks a little bit differently. Like the way people down south pronounce words aren't the way that we pronounce words up here, really.
You mean like dialects?
Excuse me?
Dialects, right?
Yeah. And I'm just wondering if dialects just came from people that had speech impediments. And
right.
And the people around them just thought it was a cool way to say it, or they were making fun of them.
That's how my Paul said it.
Yeah. And so then this group of jerks just started making fun of him. Oh, that's how my pa said it. And then all of a sudden, everybody was making fun of this guy being a jerk. And then it just stuck.
Like your accent.
Yeah. Then all of a sudden, everyone's talking like that guy with the speech impediment, and that becomes the new standard.
Yeah. And now all of a sudden, it's not an impediment anymore, is it?
No, it's expected.
It's expected. There you go.
See, folks, your dreams can come true.
Mm-hmm.
You can make a way.
Now, the guy with the lisp, that dialect never took on.
Well, just wait till he moves to Montana.
I'm from Billings.
I would.
I'm a jerk. We should make fun of people with lisp. They can't handle it.
No, they can't.
I mean, help it. They could probably handle it. They could probably beat my ass, but
why? They got special ass kicking powers if they have a lisp?
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't just because they have a lisp doesn't mean they're not super strong.
Listen, you can't be a badass if you pronounce badass as badass. So
yeah, that's true. It'd be funny to have a guy try though, right? You listen here, partner.
Partner.
Oh, this is a little too mean for my liking.
Okay. All right.
Get me out of this hell.
Yeah. Once you called somebody partner, I kind of shivered a little bit. I'm like, oh, too far, Tommy. Too far.
What an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah. I would have loved to chat more, but work drew me away. If you'd like to resume our chat, please let me know. Yeah. You were off to a good start with that combo, I bet. With those accent talks.
Yeah. Not a combo, a group.
Yeah. You were a group of two women. like you were a group of two women. You noticed what I was driving. And we are you referring to the two women as the you? Are you going after both of them as if they're one person?
I think so. I think he's putting himself in there too. It's a group.
Wow.
It's a thing now, I guess.
It's a thing now. This episode was a thing now.
Yeah, it was a good one.
It was a good one. This episode.
I was going to say, it's definitely our best Skype episode, I think.
Oh, I would agree with that. Usually these are a disaster.
Yeah.
This episode of the old MRS reminds me of something I saw not too long ago. This episode 250. Thank you very much, folks. It was at a beer tasting event, a festival of hops. And at the place where this was held, there was this long staircase and an equally long handrail running alongside.
Yeah, you're talking about the brouhaha.
Yeah. And there's this long handrail running along the staircase because safety first, and, building codes and whatnot. Well, some drunk girl, I know it's hard to believe at a beer tasting festival when you have limits. There was a drunk girl. Well, she decided it would be a bitching idea to slide down that rail. And I guess it was because she successfully slid down the entire length of it. However, However, the thing with stairs and handrails is that they eventually end. And this girl apparently forgot that important point because she hit the end and then went face first into the ground, and everyone laughed because that's what you do.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Did I tell you? Did I tell you about the drunk girl at the brouhaha when I was performing there a couple years ago?
No.
Okay, so after the brouhaha is over, when everybody's leaving, the comedians go out into the lobby and sell their merch, right?
Yeah.
As people are, and I think they have a few minutes to, finish up their drink tickets and stuff. But mainly everybody's just kind of, making their way out the door. And I have my shirt set up at this table, and me and the beloved are standing there with Matt Holt, was also performing with me that night. And this drunk girl came up, and she's only talking to me, and she was like, "Hey, are you a comedian?" I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "I saw you. You're funny." And I was like, "Oh, thanks." And she's like, "Yeah, I saw you at the log cabin in Freeland." And I was like, "Oh, right. Yeah. I performed at the log cabin in Freeland." She's like, "You were funny." I was like, "Thanks." She was like, "Did you know the comedians that were performing tonight? They were really funny." And I was like, "Yeah, I was one of them there was only 4 of us." I was like, "Yeah, I was one of them that performed tonight." And she's like, "Oh, you know the comedians that perform?" At this point, the beloved had to walk away because she was laughing too hard. But I was like, yeah, I performed tonight. And she was like, oh, I saw you at the log cabin, and the comedians tonight were really funny, and you were funny when I saw you, and just walked away. Like, wow. I'm at my merch table at a show I just performed at, and some girl's telling me, she's asking me if I knew the comedians that performed tonight, and oh, that was funny.
That's pretty deep, though. She was asking you if you even knew yourself.
Right? No.
Oh, man.
Yeah. She even said, she's like, Mike Ball, because that was the guy, that's the comedian that books the log cabin in Freeland.
Yeah.
And so she had everything correct. Everything. I've been there, and I was very funny there, being cocky again, huh? But I've had, both the times I was there, I had decent shows. So, but she just couldn't put it together that I was actually on stage that night. Like, that part wasn't like, she had no short-term memory. You know, like she was in a blackout, so she could only remember long-term.
I feel like
I guess.
I feel like the heavy hops were blocking the pathway to her brain that recognized common words.
Her recall was there.
Her long-time memory was spot on.
Yeah, her short-term, when I kept telling her, I performed tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, did you know the comedians that performed tonight?
Yeah. Instant amnesia.
That's how much respect I got.
Yeah.
I get at my shows.
That's how many waves you're making in this goddamn world, Thomas.
Yeah, right. Well, none of us are making waves right now.
We ain't
the
making
waves have come to a halt.
Yeah. So, like
it sounded so sad. You were like, yeah.
Yeah. So, like the girl sliding down that stair rail. This episode started as a great idea, but now as we hit the end and land on our faces, we hope you all laugh, much like the people laughed at that girl as she clobbered her own face. You know?
Did she get up?
She did. She was laughing the whole time too.
Okay, good for her. All
yeah,
right.
Pain don't hurt, especially when you've been drinking.
Yeah, not until the next day.
Nope. I mean, I bet her goddamn face was all fucking swole up, but you know, that's tomorrow's problem.
She put on a show.
Yeah,
she was being an entertainer.
She was just as funny as the comedians that night. All it took was a dumb jackass stunt. That's all.
Yeah, a nosedive.
Yep. We hope you enjoyed episode 250 of the Miserable Retail Slave Show. If you liked what you heard, like I said, tell a friend, join our Facebook group, join our Facebook page. I'm gonna convince this Tommy to do more episodes with me. Right?
Yeah.
And we're here for your entertainment. And if you need more entertainment, check out the sister podcast we have, Someone's Favorite Movie, where me and usually Tomko check out a really underrated or horrible or little-known movie and decide whether it's worth it or not. We kind of changed the format over there. It's a lot more like this now, but with movies. So it's been a lot more fun, and I think people like it a lot more. So maybe you will too. If you're looking for even more podcasts, if movies are your jam, check out the Epic Film Guys. They're putting on live stream for The Cure 4. If you're into streaming services, which who isn't now that we're all living inside our houses like hermits, check out... What?
I said right.
Oh, okay.
I'm with you. I'm listening.
If you're into streaming services, and who isn't, because, we're stuck here for a bit, or we should be. Don't break the rules, folks. Check out Netflix and Swill, hosted by our friend Dan the Mattress Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for general comedy, check out the Untrained Eye podcast and Glenn Thinks Stuff, okay? Could you do that? All right. We'll see you next time. I hope you're all staying safe and keeping warm. And until the next episode, I hope you all stay miserable.
Train in, wheels off,
My dope in, let my scalp peeled off. Skills, saw with the pen, I'm raw, don't doubt D-boy. Y'all gon' learn about that boy, he go hard. Ben Wallace, 10 haters got 10 Wallace. I came broken, I left ballin', that's no joking. That's George Carlin, I'm here. Ain't that a fact? Lil' Pip boy, I kick it like Pack-a-Lack. We the rap pack, you a pack of rats. Get packed in the crack like, oh, I snap. Kush packs, cracker packs, blowing up till the track collapse. With a white girl with the fattest ass. We break that ice, you catch a bash, yeah, fish in the barrel. Hood hippie apparel. See me on the beat like Christmas and Christians with carols. And it's the radical, tactical, magical, sagittal, suture splitter, future spitter, boo. Here's a cheers to new beginnings. Boo the rapper, yeah, he who do it different than you. Who is this ludicrous rhymer spitting? Is written so smooth. When I seen some hustle money here, I've been ballin', getting buckets in the hood, homie. Say what you would about.